Alright, the excitement's about to begin. The Nomad's on YouTube now. I'm going to be showing you how I do things. Right or wrong, it's the way I'm going to do it. Probably wrong, but that's okay. I'll show you my mistakes, my successes, and we'll have a little bit of fun along the way. It might get a little scary, it might even get a little deep. First things first though, we got to see my space. We got to see what I'm working with. It's a typical garage shop. This is going to be my space. Let's look around. Alright, first off, every good Nomad's got to have a workbench. This is a split top design. The tops are removable, so easy to transport. Top is laminated 2x4s with the side skirts are 2x8s that are bolted on. Now the base is made out of 4x4s, and these are my first mortise and tenon joints. We're also got 3/4 inch plywood down below as a shelf for my tools that I use most often. Or I have a wood jaw vise. It's not the greatest in the world. Got it off Amazon. It was pretty cheap, but it does hold and it does do its job. It's got a dog on it. So then we have the homemade space-saving flip top miter saw table saw combo. Miter saw position, of course. As they're held on, it's held up in place by a pin on each side, just a wooden dowel. The table saw ends up flush with the side mounts, but it does limit the cutting capacity because I can't put on the wing on the table saw. It's not the best design. I'm not super happy with what I've got, but it'll work for now. The miter saw, on the other hand, works pretty great. Have these wings. They come up, lock in place. I'm not expecting them to be super accurate, but I just want them for some support. Also, we have this hold down for the miter saw. Keep the junior Nomad's fingers nice and safe. Kind of like the $1 million finger, or whatever the name is, from that Izzy Swan is put together a fast cap, but I don't need the expensive stuff. This works for me. This is my table saw miter saw flip cart. It is homemade, space saving, secured by a dowel on each side when it is flipped either way. The table saw goes flush with those side supports, and the miter saw has these wings, one on either side, that keeps everything supported. But with having those side wings, it does limit the cut capacity of my table saw, and I don't like that. So it may stay in this configuration, it may change, but the miter saw works really well. And I've even come up with a hold down to keep the small Nomad's fingers far away from the blade when it's spinning real fast. So that works out pretty well. My Delta 5-speed drill press. Got this from an antique shop here in town. The table moves on it pretty easily though. It's sitting on a discount kitchen cabinet with some plywood on top, and I keep all my drill bits and drivers in the top drawer. For all my stains and some chemicals on the first drawer, and the second drawer has a bunch of tools I don't use near as much. My belt sander disc sander combo. The disc is 6 inches. It's pretty small, and for bigger pieces the belt sander's up there, but that's really weak. It is really easy to bog it down. So here's my dust collection. It's a 10-gallon 3-horsepower shop vac rigged up with a dust WD separator over an HD bucket. It's all held down onto a furniture dolly. Pretty good capacity, reaches up almost across the entire way of the shop if I go over my bench. My hardware collection. This took me hours to separate, organize, and put away. It was all in a big coffee can, and I'm so glad it's done, and it's much easier to find things now. Here is my pawn shop find router table. I've only used it a couple times. I've still got a stop block set up from a previous project. And then back here in my corner is my 33-gallon Husky air compressor birthday present from my lovely, lovely wife. Belt-driven bandsaw. The original motor that came with this bandsaw was crap. It's a Delta 9-inch. It was weak, it would bog down even through 3/4 inch pine. So I took that out, cut it apart, used the shaft and the bearing to build this mount and hook it up to the original motor that was on this bandsaw table. It is a disc sander. It doesn't spin true, but it's nice and aggressive, so it's for that rough work only. Over here is my benchtop grinder. The polish is pretty quick. Came with grinding stones. I put some polishing wheels on it. Polishing wheels are real nice to keep chisels sharp. This is where it starts to get to be a mess. Have a bunch of sockets on the back. They're all organized on strips, wrenches, a mallet, different kinds of pliers for different tools, vice grips, some small screwdrivers. Then on the other side, we have screwdrivers and pliers and a hacksaw and a couple of coping saws. On the back on these shelves is my collection of planes. On the left side of there is all my drafting tools because I draw bad stick figures. So I need some help, and those are the tools that I use to do it. Red Craftsman's toolbox that I've had for years of adhesives and staples and punches, angle grinder accessories, deep sockets, 3/4 inch ratchet, and also my leather working tools are down here. All my striking tools, and then back here is where I keep my clamps and my chisels. Then I have my 12,000 BTU birthday present. My wife is super nice to me my birthday. Got me this air conditioner that blows really well. Started working much better after I insulated the ceiling to the roof. I did that in the summer, and that's a very bad idea. Insulate your ceilings in fall or spring. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for looking at my shop. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully my videos start getting better as I get more comfortable talking to the camera. It's kind of weird being in the garage talking to yourself when other people are going to hear it later. Normally when I talk to myself, only I respond. I have good arguments that way. So the next video should be project tour. Things I've already built before I started filming anything. I've got a bunch of stuff around the house. Maybe I'll add some still pictures of stuff that have been gifts or commissions. A couple of those. So I'll also show you some raw material I'm working with in a future video. I've got some plans. I've got a video I'm working on that I started filming before this, but that's a birthday present, and that can't be released until it's been given. I don't claim to be expert in anything. It's a disclaimer. Don't do what I do, but have fun, make some sawdust, and we will see you next time. Thanks.